Hey, everybody. I hope y'all are having a good afternoon. My name's Andrea Stutt, and I'm going to take off my glasses. Sorry. I'm outside in my car. And so I'm actually, every time I do a live, I leave my house and I drive to another street and I park on a dead-end road. So that's where I am. So if I look around a lot, it's because I don't know, I think somebody's about to ask me to move or something. Anyway, my name is Andrea Stutt, and I'm on your team. I'm one of your sidelines, probably. I'm a senior Ruby under Melissa, Michelle, and Dory. And I am excited today because I get to share about something that's very near and dear to my heart. Along with IPA, retention is kind of like something really important that I'm learning, and I love sharing what I'm learning. And so just so you know, anything I share today is either A, I've already made the mistake myself and learned the hard way, or B, I have watched tons of Brooke Hemingway's training, and this is information I got from her. And I'm just going to tell you, she reached double diamond in, I think, 4 years. And so I think she knows a little bit about what she's talking about. So I have some notes, and I will tell you, please, if you're watching, take your own notes, but I am going to include a file. I guess I'll make another post with a file, or maybe I can see if I can put it on the page somewhere with the information. Okay. So first of all, I shared something that Brooke Hemingway had said, but did you know that just as important as signing up the person is retention? Retention is equally as important, if not sometimes more important. It's a big piece of the puzzle. We don't want to just sign people up and then just say, you know, I'm here if you need me. I'm here, which I think sometimes we think that's enough, but it's really not. There's a lot of effort that needs to go into this, but it does need to be simple because we all have busy lives and we don't want to overwhelm ourselves, but we also want it to be simple so it can be duplicatable and so that our team can know that they can do it too. Okay, so first of all, I have notes. Follow up simply means that you are taking a stand for the 60 to 90 day version of that person. So think of it that way. Rather than think, I don't want to bother somebody, I don't want to check up on them, I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them, you need to shift your thinking and say, I am taking a stand for the 60 to 90 day version of that person. The person that they don't even know exists right now. They don't understand who that person can be, but I do. And so that's where we are going to take the lead. Okay, so there's five main steps to doing this. The first one is we need to be vetting them well. Put them into the right bucket to begin with. There's a great graphic on this, like how to put people into which bucket, whether it be preferred customer or whether it be ambassador. And honestly, guys, it's as simple as this. If they are ready to commit to the triplex for at least 90 days, they'd be a great ambassador, even as a wholesale ambassador. If they're not ready to even make that commitment or investment in their health, they need to be a preferred customer. They never need to be a retail customer. They need to be a preferred customer. So it's really as simple as that. So vet them well, okay? If it's somebody that just wants to try Slim, they don't need to be an ambassador. If you've educated them well on gut health, though, and they say, you know, I really do think I need to do those things, then they might be somebody that could be an ambassador, but you need to make sure they understand why they're even taking the triplex to begin with. So, okay, vet them well. Number 2, set them up with realistic expectations. They need to go into this knowing to give it time. I say 90 days now. I'm pretty much a 90-day person. You can ask my team. If people are not really ready to invest 90 days, I kind of almost talk them out of it, to be honest. But they need to understand they will feel a little worse before they'll feel better, but that, gosh, it is so worth it. I can't stress that enough. We just need to not act like, oh yeah, this is just the way it's going to work and it's going to be so awesome and it's going to be like a magic pill. And sometimes we don't say that, but I think we can give that impression if we don't set them up with a realistic expectation. Okay, number 3, comes behind that, is grow their belief. I firmly believe when you are starting to talk to someone in Messenger, your goal is to grow their belief and see the value in what you're sharing. That's why I don't ever send prices until we've talked I won't say at length, but I've talked to the point where I feel like I've at least shared the value. So for me, that looks like put them on a group page and add them in a couple testimonies that hit their pain point. That is always what I do, because I love to let third-party tools do the talking. If you have somebody that won't let you put them in a group, or maybe they're not on Facebook, send them a testimony or two. Let those third-party tools grow their belief. 4, encourage accountability. Go ahead, obviously once they've signed up, go ahead and talk to them about the referral link. Explain that all you have to do is get 3 buddies to do this with you. You have a referral link. I can help you with the post. I can help you message them. I can help you with all of it. But go ahead and mention it. Even if it's just dropping that seed and they're like, oh no, I'd never want to do that. That's totally fine, but you've dropped the seed. Number 5, follow the system. I'm about to give you a simple system on how to actually follow up with your new ambassadors or customers. Okay, so here is the system. Okay, sign up day. Yay! I send them a welcome letter right away in their email, and then I send them a message on Messenger, and I say congratulations. Sometimes I even send them a little screenshot, because sometimes I usually sign people up, by the way. Actually, I haven't shared that, but I typically sign my people up, so I'll send them the screenshot of congratulations, welcome to Plexus. I'll send them the screenshot on Messenger. Also, I'm so excited for you to get your health journey started. I went ahead and sent you the welcome email that you can go ahead and start looking at. I encourage you to print out the material. Just know that you're going to be easing into the products, and so I will be with you every step of the way to help walk you through that. I keep it short. I don't say a whole lot on that message, but I already dropped the hint. They need to print out their instructions. I've already dropped the hint. You're going to ease into your products. Okay? And I want to stress this. Send them the letter on the first day, the day they sign up. I've heard people say, I don't want to overwhelm people. I don't want to send them a million things. You don't have to overwhelm them, but it's really more for your sake. You're in the habit. You create a habit. I'm a big believer in habits. The best habit to have is to just send them the letter the first day. That way you don't forget. Send them the short message the first day. That way you don't forget. I also, on that message, will say, I'll be checking in with you frequently. What's the best way to just pop in and say hi? Is it on Messenger? Is it a text? Is it a phone call? And then they'll just tell you. Okay, so that's sign up day. Okay, so day 3, I usually go in the back office, I check their tracking, see kind of where the package is, and then I'll message them, hey, it looks like your package should be there on Monday. Hey, I saw this testimony and I want to just pop it over. It reminded me of you. I thought you'd really enjoy it. Let me know when your products arrive. I'm so excited. Did you get that email I sent you about how to ease into the products? So I kind of like remind them of all those things. One thing I've learned is we have to remind people of stuff. We just do. People are busy. They're not as into it as we are. And so my job is to remind them, okay? I kind of look at it like when I give one of my boys, especially my younger ones, the job of cleaning the bathroom, when they come to me and say, okay, I'm finished, I'll say, okay, did you remember to pick up the towels and put them in the laundry room? Did you remember to clean up the toothbrushes and clean off the toothpaste off the counter? I remind them of things, okay? That's what our job is to remind people to read their stuff. Okay, so that's, and so I got that, by the way, I got that idea on, I saw a testimony from Brooke Hemingway. So she says that's a way she kind of, in the interim between the time that they sign up and the time they get started, there's like this little lull period, and believe it or not, some people start talking themselves out of it. So our job is just to keep growing their belief, and by popping in and saying, I'm here, I know your package isn't there yet, but here's a testimony, it's like another way of growing their belief. Okay, so the day their products arrive, message, show excitement every time. Remember, your energy will raise their energy. So I usually, on that message, I'll resend the triplex schedule, like the little graphic, one more time, and then I'll send a little graphic again of the die-off. But before I send that, I'll say just something really short, like, I'm so excited for you. expect such great things for you. I'm just going to resend these 2 little quick things to look at because I know they were in the letter. I just want to make sure you saw them again. Sometimes it's common to feel a little worse before you feel better, but that's okay because it means the products are working. I'm going to be here for you. I'll be checking in with you every few days. There, that's all you say. Okay, so then from that day forward, from the day their products arrive, I check in with them every 3 days for the first 2 weeks. So you're going to check in with them day 3, day 6, day 9, day 12. Okay? Day 3, 6, 9, 12. And then the next 2 weeks, just once a week, unless more is necessary. So that's a total of 6 times in that first month. Okay? You heard me, 6 times. Brooke Hemingway does this. So, and I agree with her. She's right on about this. And so day 3, I'll send them a message like this. Sarah, I know you have just started and you are barely scratching the surface, but I want to know what you're already loving about the products. Listen, okay? Okay, and when are you taking your products and how many are you taking? Listen. How much water are you drinking? Okay, so Brooke stresses to ask these questions on that first touch-in after they start because you never know. Even though you've reminded them to read their letter, look at their graphic, all that, they still may start taking everything at once, okay? So go ahead and ask them how many are you taking. It's okay to ask. Okay, so day 6. Sarah, I want to hear what you're feeling. Are you seeing any subtle improvements yet in your sleep or digestion? So you're asking pointed questions. You're not giving them a lot of words, but you're giving them pointed questions, okay? Things to look for. Okay, day 9. Sarah, I know it is around this time that many start seeing improvements in energy and cravings. How are you feeling in those areas? Pointed question. Day 12. Hey Sarah, just a quick touch-in because I know it's not unusual to need to tweak things. Are you feeling any of those detox symptoms we talked about? So you're talking about the elephant in the room because you're acting like it's normal. Don't act like it's not normal. It's normal. So treat it normal. That's another thing that Brooke said. And so I'm going to have to, Brooke says this. Our mindset in following up is going to affect the whole stream of conversation. So if we go into it feeling uneasy, nervous, scared, terrified, I don't want to talk to them, we're creating this big story in our head, it's going to sabotage it, okay? It will. In some way or another. Either we'll avoid messaging them altogether, or we'll do something like, hey, are you doing okay? Hope you're feeling okay. It's going to be half-hearted, not energetic, not excited, not speaking positivity. And so just remember that how you feel about following up is going to affect the results. So just remember that. Okay. All right. So, and then the next 2 touch-ins, you'll just kind of continue those same questions or a variation of those questions or check in on the thing that they've already told you they're experiencing, things like that. And then for the next month, you'll probably just check in like twice in that month unless you need to check in sooner. I treat the first 90 days with somebody like they are a brand new newborn baby and they need my help. So get that mentality out that you're bothering people. You are helping them be successful. Now, let me just say this. If they are a person that doesn't respond to you, how many have people that don't respond? Happens to me all the time. So what I do is I take advantage of that and I say, okay, it's obvious they're not going to respond. Okay, so then I'll say, okay, so probably right around this time, you may be experiencing this. Or a lot of people right around this time start feeling a lot more energy. Some actually feel more sleepy sometimes. It really depends. So if you're having detox, I actually would recommend talking to me. I have some liver refresh that will really help. And then I would encourage you to increase your water. I just go ahead and say those things. Even if they never respond, they may be reading, okay? And at least I haven't just asked the question or, just been like, okay, they're not saying anything and then I do nothing. Because some people just aren't going to respond. But that's not my problem. My job is to make sure that they are equipped and educated. So at least if they say it didn't work, I'll know I did my part. I didn't drop the ball. Okay, so the main areas that we need to be asking them about specifically on those questions are sleep, mood, digestion, cravings, and energy. Sleep, mood, digestion, cravings, and energy. So that's just a little tip on what you need to be asking. And don't forget, I'll have these in the notes. Okay, so something that Brooke Hemingway, I already said this, but I'm going to repeat it. She said, signing someone up is just as important as retention. If we don't have retention, we do not have residual income. So we're talking about the business right now, correct? Okay, and it's okay because you've done a lot of hard work to get someone started. You don't want them to quit on the first month. So it's okay to say, you know what, I want to retain them. Of course you want to retain them for their benefit, but for all that hard work you put into it, you want to reap that reward as well. So just remember that. Okay, so then I came up with this little acronym, and I'm going to post it in it's a little graphic. But we talk a lot about farming and in this business, right? We plant seeds and we cultivate the soil and we water it and we take care of people, and we are farmers, but we're also professionals. And we need to treat this like a business because if we are professionals, we're going to treat it like a professional does. So the acronym is Pro Farmer. Okay, so how do we retain our harvest? Become a pro farmer. P, passionate and positive should be our posture. R, realistic expectations should be shared with them beforehand. O, organize your planner or dough app on day 1 with dates set up for consistent follow-up. Did y'all hear that? I really believe we all need to do this. The day you sign them up, go ahead and put notes on when to follow up. That way you won't forget. Follow up closely. F, follow up closely. Day 3, 6, 9, 12, and then 2 more times the next 2 weeks. A, ask the right questions. R, remind them of their why. This is important because when they start getting discouraged, remind them in a gentle and loving way why they're doing this. Sometimes they lose sight of it, you know? And you would just say something very gentle and kind, like, remember we talked about you were wanting to get help with your autoimmune issues and how it's rooted in the gut. This is going to take time. And so this is part of the process. If you want to ease back on anything, we can. But, you know, I'm here to help you every step of the way. M, make a strong connection by putting them in a 3-way message with your upline. Show them overall support as a friend. So that just means go ahead and connect to them. Connection is key with this as well. Even if they're a quiet person and they're not super responsive, people still want to be cared about. They do, even if they're not talking about it. So I encourage you to love on them on their posts, let them know you care about them as people, and then you do need to put them in a 3-way message with your sponsor or your next active sponsor that's working the business. Because what you'd like to do is them to see that they have support, but then also that upline will friend them. And if they choose to accept that friend request, then they will start seeing that friend's post as well. And then you just never know what will blossom from that, you know. So there's a lot to connecting them to your upline. Okay. E, empower enthusiasm and energy. Show enthusiasm, show encouragement. Your energy will raise their energy. So, and then R, retention is just as important as the sign up. So anyway, I'll put those notes on the page, but I love teaching this and I love simplifying it. And I know it's a work in progress for all of us. Let's just be honest. Sometimes we let people fall through the cracks, and Brooke even talks in one of her videos, and I'll even share the video and the link in the comments. But she says, you know, when she's dropped the ball, even she knows better, and she's dropped the ball. She says she'll come back around to the person and be like, hey, I'm so sorry I haven't reached out to you like I normally do or like I should have, but I would love to know how you're doing. You know, like, are you feeling this, and this? You know, I just really care about you. I want you to be successful. Anyway, I was just reading one of these. It says, I freaked out when I told you how I started taking them. Yes. And that happens. Like, how many times does that happen to us? You know, like we messaged somebody and they were taking everything, or they were taking it all wonky or whatever. It's okay. Like, I think if you come back in humility and just be like, oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't send you the the chart. I'm so sorry that I didn't point that out to you. You know, the customer's always right, for one thing. So don't ever blame it on them, but just let them know I apologize, you know, and I want to help you be successful. Let's push the reset button. Because I did have somebody do that recently. She ordered the products without telling me, and I didn't know that she had ordered the triplex. She'd been on some other things and not the triplex, and so she got the triplex and she just started taking it all at once, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize you ordered the triplex. She's like, oh yeah, I did. So we pushed the reset button and started all over. She's doing good. So anyway, all right, you guys have a blessed day, and if you have any other questions, put it in the comments and I'll try to respond. All right, talk to you later. Bye.